Welcome back to Earth Chronicles, Book 2, The Blue Woman by H.G. Shuler. Chapter 2, An Out-of-Computer Experience. Logan was sitting up in his chair by the open window, with one arm halfway outside, laying across the sill. He sits people watching while breathing in the scent of flavored coffees floating from the nearby Cafe Sasso. He's watching for Sky. It's only mid-morning, but he had received a text from her earlier, informing him she had left at 5 a.m. and would be arriving earlier than expected. "I hope you haven't been awake for hours." He turns and sees Nova standing in the bedroom doorway. "Those infuriating sirens last night. Yes, I heard them, but I'm sort of used to the noise. Since her accident, the city's been growing, changing, including Park Avenue. There's a lot more going on out there now." His phone starts vibrating in his hand. It's another text from Sky. "Almost there, but they've got the road blocked off for a funeral. It shouldn't be long now." He responds immediately. "Unexpected obstacle. Please don't come to my house. Meet me at the Cafe Sasso. You remember the coffee shop down the street? How could I forget? It was our favorite hangout." He turns back to Nova, wondering how he was going to put her off to get out of the house without suspicion. "You mind if I run out for a while? I won't be long. I'll bring you back one of your favorite croissants from Cafe Sasso." "I don't mind at all. I could throw on some jeans and go with you. You're being in public. I'm not sure that's a good idea. What if someone recognizes you? Remember, you're supposed to be dead. Not to mention your skin tint. Don't you like my color? Blue is always your favorite. Actually, I love it. Others, however, may not feel the same way. We'll figure this out in time. But right now, probably best for you to stay home. You're right, people won't know how to take me. I'll work on a solution while you're gone." Due to her intelligence, he was uncertain his reason for leaving the house was solid enough. The fact that she was being reasonable wasn't helping. Does she know he lied to her? Would she figure out? It was this uncertainty that chilled him as he walked through the door onto Park Avenue. They had found each other again. Or had they? The crazy, stupid circumstance had kept him awake most of the night. People don't come back from the dead. So how is he going to rectify her being alive? Not to mention her color. 10 years previously, while dining at a sidewalk cafe, she had caught sight of him. Her smile had been like a flower pinned to a hat. He remembers the surprise of seeing her for the first time. He still feels the throb of it. He had come upon her unexpected face, and out of the stereotyped blue offered her a seat and to buy her a coffee. Her dark hair was long and hanging behind her ears, banded by a clip. Her eyes were brown, but dazzled with a hint of blue and amber. Although sitting at a table on a busy sidewalk, he felt secluded talking with her, watching her slender but full figure relaxing back, pressing into the chair. Last night, when he had seen her standing in the doorway of the closet, it was her eyes that aided his memory the most. One glance into them flung him back years as he recaptured moments from the past. Inside Cafe Sasso, he feels lucky to find a seat. The establishment was popular, drawing in locals and visitors alike. Soon he feels the awkwardness of someone stumbling over his leg, alerting him that he was seated at a table partially obstructing the walkway. When he looks up, it's Sky from the old days. "You haven't changed a bit," he said as he pulled a chair out beside him. "Please have a seat. You must be hungry. Let me order you something." "It's okay, Logan. I ordered when I walked in. But thanks, it's sweet of you." Pulling at the chair, she hangs the strap of her purse over the back of it, and she sits. "I went through some nasty weather to get here. Luckily, as it turns out, the weather's nice here. I could get back in my groove fast. When I drove into town, I even thought about moving back. Then I found a parking spot right off. It was like a sign because that hardly ever happens. If you're serious, it would be awesome to have you back. I really am thinking about it. New York's been great. All my connections are there, my agent, my publisher, my favorite editor. Although being back here has caused all the memories to return, the old neighborhood, it just feels right. Okay, so that's enough about me. How are you? Last night you totally spooked me. You were talking some pretty crazy stuff. How are you now? Has your head cleared? Are you back to normal? I'm still trying to figure out how to explain things." A girl interrupts. Did you order a ham and cheese croissant and an iced coffee? Oh God, yes. Thank you, I'm starving. Sky shoves a huge bite into her mouth. You said? Sorry, I know I'm a disgusting eater. She swallows. You said there's been a development. He stares out into the crowd of people, now filling up the Cafe Sasso. Do you remember when we first met? Sky places her lips over the straw of the iced coffee. After a sip, she leaves her lips touching the straw and her head hovering over the drink. I guess I remember what you remember. I had just taken a job near the Museum and Science Center. The computer technology place, right? Are you still doing that? Building the latest, greatest computers? I still work there if that's what you mean. Only I'm mostly telecommute from my house. I go into the office once or twice a week, or whenever they need me. The thing is, Sky, what I've been working on at home is light years ahead of what we do at work. I've built a chemical computer that's revolutionary, or maybe I should say evolutionary, because it seems to have evolved into something else. I won't bore you with all the science behind it, which you probably wouldn't understand anyway. Let's just say because it's a chemical-based computer, I came up with the idea to integrate it with human DNA. And the truth is, I didn't expect it to work, and when it did, I think I regretted it. You're telling me you've made a computer that has human DNA? Yes. Does that mean it acts and thinks like a human? Yes. Only better, but there's more. I'm not sure I'm ready for what you're about to say. You don't know how right you are. I've experienced it, and I still can hardly believe it. Well, go on. You might as well get this out of the way. It's why you brought me here. What's happened? Logan gives another quick glance around the Cafe Sasso, then looks down at a cup of coffee and a slice of lemon pound cake sitting in front of him. Squeezing both his hands around the cup, he starts talking. The DNA that I injected into the chemical composition of the computer was Nova's. What? God, Logan, what were you thinking? I don't know. I guess I just missed her. I didn't realize it would turn out the way it did. How it turned out? Is that the development you brought me here to talk about? Yes. It worked beyond what I ever expected. I knew there was a chance it would act and sound like her. It's what I was hoping for, but what? Don't stop now, just let it out. When I started talking with it through the voice recognition, I was totally blown away. Not only did it act and sound like her, but it also had all her memories. The computer was asking me about things it had no business knowing, things I had not inputted that it had no data on. The computer wasn't just acting like Nova, it was Nova. I found myself discussing things with her from years ago. I thought I was losing my mind, but there it was. I had unknowingly brought her back to life, only as a liquid chemical computer. I was so bothered by what I had done that I booked an appointment with a psychiatrist. I've been seeing one to help me with my grieving over Nova's death. So that's it then. That's what you brought me here to tell. Yes, last night when I talked with you, it was the only reason. But there's been another development. That's why you had me meet you here instead of your house. After I talked with you last night, I heard a noise. I had heard earlier too, just didn't know what to make of it. And anyway, nothing really came of it. When I heard it again, I ran to the window, thinking it was something outside. Then I heard it once more and realized it was coming from Nova's closet. I hadn't stepped a foot in it since her death. That's when the whole world turned sideways. I mean, it's Sky. The whole freaking world has changed. You might need to take another sip of that coffee to brace yourself or something. Really, because the door flung open and a replica of Nova was standing there. It was an exact representation of her, only it was blue, like the chemical composition of the computer. And it wasn't really a replica, it was her. She had studied data on stem cell research and replication, and literally grew herself a body right there in her closet. I still don't know how I managed it. Sky, I brought her back. I brought Nova back. Sky pushes back her drink as if it has something in it that's affecting her mind. For a lack of anything else to say, what did you think of her, and what did she think of you? You would think I'd have something compelling to say about that. We were curious, of course. Mostly I think we were a little suspicious of one another, maybe a little guarded. That seems normal under the circumstances. Yes, I think so too. Anyway, I lied to her to get out of the house. She doesn't know about our meeting. I was hoping to discuss her with you. I need to figure out where to go with this, what to do next. Should I inform the higher-ups, the government? The technology, they would want to know. The government? Seriously? Can you trust them with this kind of groundbreaking technology? You're right. Maybe I just need to wait, see where this thing goes, at least a week or two. You really didn't know, did you, Logan? Tell me you didn't. You didn't know this was going to happen. If you had known, you wouldn't have done it. Tell me I'm right about that. I didn't know, honestly. I'm telling you the truth. Sky and Logan suddenly hear the chatter of talk pick up in intensity inside the Cafe Sasso. The chatter quickly grows into a commotion with more people crowding into the coffee shop, pushing and shoving into each other. Before they can turn to see what's happening, the swiftness with which she appears catches them by surprise. Nova is standing at their table. People are whispering and staring her down. She is wearing a t-shirt with an electric mix of colors swirled into it, and in large letters the words, Living Color Tattoo Shop. Her neon blue face and arms are strikingly beautiful and have captivated the entire Cafe Sasso crowd. They assume the blue is from the tattoo shop. A man with eagles and assault guns tattooed up and down his arm asked her how much she paid. Her response is quick and smart. It took 3-4-hour sittings a week for a year at $500 for each sitting. That's $78,000. I doubt there'll be another blue person walking around Rochester anytime soon. But if you've got the money and the time, go for it. When she turns her attention back to Sky and Logan, there's intensity beaming in her eyes. You didn't used to be deceivers, either of you. What's so important that you couldn't tell me you were meeting? Sky stands up. My God, Nova, it's really you. You're not tattooed, and I'm pretty darn sure of it. A voice close by shouts. Sky and Nova are in the midst of an embrace. They release and turn in the direction of the voice. They're looking at a blonde, well-dressed man with a certain physical distinction, one of importance. I'm a dermatologist. What caused the coloration? I haven't seen it before. Again, Nova wastes no time responding. She turns directly facing him. You might be a doctor, but you don't know crap about tattooing. Actually, I do. He pulls up the sleeve of his blue, button-up shirt, displaying an arm covered in blackbirds and red roses. I am on my back. I know a lot about tattooing and about skin. You, honey, are not tattooed. So, I'll ask you again. What precipitated the change in coloration? And don't tell me you were born that way. As a dermatologist, I think I would know about a condition that could cause that tint. And just why should I even talk to you at all? Because if what's happened to you wasn't done on purpose, which I doubt, and you're not somehow the victim of a scientific experiment gone bad, which I also doubt, then you could be contagious. And that, Missy, is something that I simply can't ignore. The best thing for you to do, mister, is leave me alone. I have a feeling you're right about that. That's why I've called a detective friend of mine. Oh, and look, he's here now, with 2 police friends of his. When Nova turns behind her, the detective already had his identification badge open, hanging up in front of her face. You care to answer the doctor's question? I know my rights. I don't have to answer any of your questions. The detective folds back his badge case and places it back in his suit coat. See, that just makes me think you've got something to hide. You can explain yourself now, or you can explain yourself down at the Rochester Police Department. Which is it going to be? Nova glances at the blonde doctor, her eyes beaming with anger. You've made a mistake, and I'll see you pay for it. I warned you earlier to leave me alone. She turns back to the detective. You carry a smartphone? Doesn't everyone? He unsnaps it from a case on his side. Google argyria or argyrosis. The detective starts punching at his phone. It says argyrosis is a condition caused by excessive exposure to chemical compounds of the element silver, or to silver dust. The most dramatic symptom is that the skin turns purple or purple-gray. Interesting. So, you're telling me this is what you have. She nods. It's unheard of in the States, but in parts of Africa, well, it's common around the silver mines. My father is a scientist. He works in the application of technologies to extract minerals from the earth. I spent years growing up around silver mines. The detective eyes the doctor. Simon, you ever heard of this before? No, but her skin's not purple. It's neon blue. The information I'm reading goes on talking about another reason the skin can turn blue. I can hardly pronounce the word, but it's a blood disorder. You know about that? Yes, but she would be nearly dead sick in the hospital. I'm not sure we can hold her on what we got here. Something's wrong. Whatever is going on needs to be investigated. She could be contagious. Doesn't that account for something? Sure it does. Tell you what, do your homework tonight. If you can prove she's hiding something, we'll handle this tomorrow. Meantime, I'll take down her ID information. If she's a threat, we can pick her up later. I don't have an ID. The detective shakes his head, then presses both hands on the table, leaning toward her. See, now, that's going to be a problem. I need to do a background check on you. Why don't you have an ID? I have an old one at home. It expired, and I just didn't see the need to renew it. I don't drive anymore, so... And anyway, not having an up-to-date ID isn't against the law. Detective, we live less than a block away. And who are you, sir? I'm her husband. Do you have an ID? In one quick sweep of the hand, Logan takes out his wallet and flips it open. His driver's license shows through a clear, plastic cover. Logan, Paul Anderson. Seems you live less than a block from here. That's right. And you say this rather blue girl is your wife. Yes. This is Nova. I'm not going to find anything weird when I do a check. Am I Logan? No, sir. Nova places her hand on Logan's chest, making eye contact with him. Next, she shakes her head, and when she turns to the detective, it's obvious by the look on her face that she's tired of this conversation. Yes, you will. What am I going to find, Nova? That I died in a car crash a little over 2 years ago. Logan, you got anything to say about that? At this point, I think you just need to talk with her. It's obvious you're not dead. Nova, are you taking any medications for a mental disorder? That's absurd. I don't have a mental problem. If you think you died, I don't think I died. I know I did. Then I'm taking you in for a psych evaluation. The detective glares at Simon. You happy now? If that's what it takes to get her off the streets and find out what's really going on, then yes. You're not taking me anywhere. You're not even going to lay a hand on me unless you want every electronic device in this room to come crashing down on you. I estimate 52 devices, and that's not counting the cash register and company computer. Look, it's clear to me you're losing touch with reality. We can do this peacefully, or we can cuff you. I've warned you, detective. The next step is up to you. Maybe you should listen to her and just let her be, a dark-haired man said, interrupting. She's a neighborhood girl, so if the background doesn't check to your satisfaction, you can always return. You, sir, need to stay out of this. He moves one hand to his side, pushes back his suit coat, and snatches a set of handcuffs from metal clip. Are you sure you want to test the only blue human you've ever seen in your life? I don't want to have to hurt you, but I've broken no laws here today. I'm sorry, Nova, but you're going with me. I'm sorry, too. With precision movement, she dips downward, turning and bending at the knees, her body twisting smooth and easy like a snake. She is looking directly at Sky and Logan, her arms jetting out like she's surfing a wave. Cover your ears. Do it now. The words were forceful, but didn't come out audibly and were heard only in the minds of her husband and best friend. She was communicating telepathically. The detective doesn't flinch at her amazing body movement and moves to cuff her. As soon as he contacts her wrist, a strong vibration starts filtering through the building. The Cafe Sasso crowd look around alarmed and confused as they watch objects start falling off the tables, dislodging and sliding down the walls, screeching and crashing to the floor. After about 10 seconds, the vibration is followed by an explosion of noise that blasts through the entire building. Half the people drop to their knees, their eardrums nearly burst by the piercing, penetrating sound. When the sound suddenly stops, everyone is left with a numbing sensation. Clutching their ears, they're barely able to hear, looking around wildly in all-out panic. The detective and 2 policemen are all covering their ears in pain. Nova smiles at them while reaching out, offering the detective back his handcuffs. Less than a minute ago, he had snapped them onto her wrist. He drops his hands to his waist. How did you get those off? Did you take my key? She keeps smiling. You give up. During all the commotion, her whole body had gotten brighter, illuminating into a sort of glow. Now she starts laughing. Really? Have you seen enough? Because I can do more. I think I'm starting to like this. What's your name anyway? I think we should be on a first-name basis by now, don't you? Noah. Detective Noah Stark. She twists her head, moving it closer to him, examining him. I'm not going to be one of your animals to lock up, Noah. You do understand that now, right? I don't know why you're blue, or what your game is, and I sure don't know how you just did what you did. Maybe there are people with stupefying superpowers after all, I don't know. But I do know this. I'm taking you in whether you shake this building into oblivion or not. She twists her head, examining him again. I was hoping you wouldn't say that. When he moves the cuffs toward her, a steady buzzing sound starts up. By now, people have started fleeing the cafe. He closes them over one wrist as the buzzing sound grows louder. After cuffing the other wrist, the steady buzz has grown to deafening proportions, all remaining people now aiming for the exit. Then all at once the cafe is quiet, and a tingling sensation can be felt streaming through the bloodstream of every individual left in the building. All electronic devices are ripped from their resting places, and in an extraordinary display, the devices can be seen hovering within the confines of the Café Sasso. What the? Before Noah can finish a sentence, Nova lifts her hands, the handcuffs unlock, move away from her, and hover like a drone in the air. When she opens her hands and snaps downward, the devices, which consist mostly of smartphones, tablets, and laptops, go hurling through the room. Noah and the two policemen try a last-second attempt to protect themselves, throwing up their arms. But it's no use. The devices slam into them from every direction. They fall back, hitting the wooden floor hard, knocked unconscious from multiple blows to the head. The devices, still hovering, now fall to the floor beside them. That's the end of Chapter 2 of The Blue Woman. Stay tuned for more from audiobooks by H.G. Shuler on YouTube.